Did you ever have the Bible Warriors, the Power Warriors come?
Yes, the Power Team. Yes. For Jesus.
Yeah, I saw the Power Team when I was maybe 15 or so, and one of my friends was old enough to drive, and he was like, we were at lunch that day at school in high school, and he's like, guys, I want you to come with me to our church event this Wednesday, tonight, because the Christ Power Squad is in town, and he's gonna lift a crazy heavy crucifix and tear phone books and squeeze a bowling ball so hard it breaks, all sorts of crazy things. And we were all like, I'm in. Let's go see the strength show. And so we went and did that. And as they finished the last feat of strength, it's obviously they bait and switch you. And so I'm 15 with my 15, 16-year-old buddies, and we watched them. And the strength show, fantastic. These guys are strong as shit. They lift unbelievably heavy stuff. They break things. This dude didn't just do a phone book rip. It was because I guess with the right technique, you don't even have to be super strong to do that. You can just hit it the right way. He did it rapid fire, multiple phone books. And then as he ended the strength thing, he's like, and now we're going to do a bit of a devotional here, a bit of a teaching moment. And me and my friends were getting up to leave. And he's like, and I'd ask that anyone who came here, it'd be disrespectful. You watched us perform. We trained for this. We worked hard for this. The least you could do to not be shameful is stay and listen to what we have to say. And so then when we had to stay seated because there were these giant men telling us we couldn't leave. Yeah, that was fun. I would do it again.
I don't know what this image has to do with all that, but I also saw the Power Team. They came to our church, and I was blown away. I was 7, maybe 8, and I swear to God, they signed one of the blocks they broke with their bare hands, and 7-year-old me kept it in his closet my entire life. That brick was in my closet 4 or 5 years ago when I was in there moving my old high school diploma and my all my old
they were awesome.
They were pretty cool.
I still had that, and I was like, what the fuck? I kept this for 30 fucking years.
Yes.
One of these jabronis showed up at my church, and the cool thing, and honestly, most of the feats of strength can be like Jimmy, the phone book. I can do that. You just have to know how to do it. Bending the bars, you know how that works. The bat thing, if those are real bats, super impressive. But the most impressive thing is the water bottle. Water bottles aren't in culture anymore, so people don't even know what they are. It is the most difficult to inflate thing you can imagine, and then blowing it up with your lungs like that always just really impressed me. Tearing a license plate, again, not impressed. If that's been started just a little. I feel like he's been bending it over there.
I thought the bat thing was going to be easy. I'm not saying I can do it or I have done it. It just seems like I've seen so many baseball players break a bat in frustration. Now, they're professional athletes, but they make it look easy.
The baseball players and hockey players, when they're breaking their bats and sticks, they put it on the front of their knee, which at least and then you pull towards you. And you can break it that way easier. What I remember is they were doing multiple bats and they were pushing it straight down on top of their, the meat of their thigh, which feels really uncomfortable to do that.
Breaking a wooden bat is very hard. I've seen, I remember fucking Bo Jackson broke one on his head. He put the middle of it on the top of his head and pulled down and broke the bat over his head. Not slamming it. Baseball helmet. He's wearing his baseball helmet, and he put the bat on top and pulled down with his hands and just broke it over his head.
Pretty impressive.
A couple of months ago on Biggest Problem on that show I do with Vito, somehow I don't know how it happened, but they were bullying me into ripping this Quran in half. I
don't know why, but they were bullying me to rip a Quran in half.
Well, I don't know why it ended up in the studio, but then it happened organically, where everyone's bullying me into ripping this Quran in half, saying that I was a pussy, that I can't do it, and so I agreed to it, and the whole time I was remembering in middle school when I saw the Power Team and they ripped the phone book, and I was like, all right, if the Power Team could do it, then I could do it for Jesus. And it really inspired me. Like the whole time I was doing it, I almost broke my goddamn hands. Even knowing the tricks, it's harder than even knowing the stupid like way that they kind of jimmy it. It's still extremely hard to do.
It's like it's more about breaking it in half than it is about tearing just straight down. If I remember, because I ripped a book in half a long time ago, and that was
you
what
ripped
I saw
the Quran as well.
No, it was a bigger book than that.
Oh, impressive.
The Quran, you just held up the Quran.
Yeah.
That's like what, a third of maybe half of, or actually it's kind of splayed out now. Like page totals. What's that looking like in comparison to a Bible? I bet a Bible.
Oh, it's the same. Well,
page total?
No, it might be a little.
Smaller.
It might be a little shorter because the Bible's got those little wispy, those little pussy-sized pages, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
I remember a friend of mine like rolled a blunt on one of those in high school, and I was like, "The fuck, man!" Like, there's paper around.
Were
like,
you concerned you wouldn't get into hell?
I was concerned that was a just tactless. First of all,
no, you're
smoking ink, you retard. Get the page from the back that says notes at the top and anything.
I'm gonna find the page where the burning bush reveals itself to Moses. I'm gonna smoke that fucking page. That's gonna open our minds up to some wild shit. God's gonna curse us doubly now. I know that Snoop Dogg, that's one of his regrets. He always talks about there was somewhere and he rolled one up on some Bible paper and he's like, I still feel bad about that shit.
Just to be safe. Don't do
are you at all worried that a radical might take some revenge out upon you, Dick, with your power team antics?
Nah, they know that I hate women. I'm cool with the Muslim.
Okay.
Oh, right.
I've done a lot for them, and they're cool with a couple bits of, I'm a rough guy all around with all religions, so they let it slide. They sent me an email.
You're an equal opportunity hater, so you'll throw it at Christianity or Judaism or Hinduism as much as the Muslims.
Yeah, they hear what I'm saying about Israel, and they're like, "That he's all right. He can do that kind of thing."
You're not pro-Israel on this, not on Team Israel.
The Israeli government, insofar as like the Israeli government's an extension of our government, or maybe a superset of our government, I do not like them. Israelis are great. I don't know how. I love Israelis. I've been to music festivals in Israel.
Not that one, I hope.
Well, that's cool.
No, because I would have ended it. If I was at that one, I would have killed all the terrorists and raped
Mark Wahlberg.
Like Mark Wahlberg.
Even worse.
You would have found a Vietnamese guy there and pummeled him.
That's my favorite bit, that 9/11 happens and Mark Wahlberg is so caught up hate criming a Vietnamese man that he can't stop Al Qaeda from taking the plane.
You were where Mark Wahlberg beat a Vietnamese man. I think he's blind.
Well, he is now.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg hate crimed an Asian man while shouting like racial epithets or whatever.
He beat him so bad the guy lost his eyesight, I think. Is that right? Does anyone?
Hurling racial epitaphs. Here lies a epitaph.
What's the other thing I confuse? It's this thing right here at the bottom of your nose. I call it
frenulum.
Frenulum. What did I call it? I called it the thing. I called it
maybe.
It is a filtrum, but I've been calling it a frenulum. Frenulum is the thing at the bottom of your cock, right?
Perineum is the gooch.
That's your. Yeah. But the
frenulum is like, if you think about an erect dick, it would be facing away from you, right near just sort of next to the urethra almost.
I can't picture an erect penis, Woody, so joke's on you.
Okay, father to be.
Yeah, well, he can picture enough for the both of you. So there you go.
You guys got tricked into being gay, not me. Audience too, probably all picturing huge throbbing cocks. Because your audience is all gay, but I didn't.
I'm thinking about a bit. Well, once a show, I imagine a penis.
Wahlberg
Everybody, let's all gather around and take the next 4 to 6 minutes and imagine. You see, that's another thing. You're not gay. That's going to win the Muslims over when they see you rip the Quran. They're going to be like, well, he did that to the book, didn't like it, but he didn't draw our guy. And
I did draw their guy a bunch on maybe that same episode.
Did you? What does he look like?
I'll draw him right now.
That's
He's
okay.
just
That's all right.
I mean, I imagine you would. I imagine it's the kind of drawing that you could only get in trouble for after you label it, because otherwise it's like this is just a dude in the Middle East. That could be anyone. That could be
No, it's
anyone's
Muhammad that I
guy.
was drawing.
That's what I'm saying. But like, you could finish the whole drawing of a guy dressed like that and show it to someone and be like, "What do you think of my drawing of an Arab guy?" They'd be like, "It's not great. You know, needs work." But then if you drew Muhammad arrow point,
I think
the
the
like,
title that I gave it was probably more offensive than the drawing. It was just a stick guy pumping a little smaller stick guy in the ass, in the backside, and the title was quite long though.
So you got
what would it have been, like, hypothetically?
Hypothetically, what was the title?
Yes.
I think it was like the Prophet Muhammad fucks his new bride, Aisha, in the ass on their wedding night, / her 9th birthday or something like that.
See, I wouldn't have gone that way. I would have made it a goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the obvious one.
Would they be how?
While thinking about erect cocks, I think that was part of it too. It was a long title.
Well, good Lord. Do you think it's
because
just
you could see on his face that he was thinking about penises?
You could see that you drew that in. Yeah,
I gave him like a little
thought bubble.
Yeah, like this.
What if I drew him at like a? Oh, that is a well. That's more of a musing face.
Yeah, you could tell.
If I drew him like having fun on a roller coaster, they would be equally mad at that, or they would be more mad at you than me. Like if I drew him and he's like eating cotton candy at the fair, nothing to do with any other stuff.
I don't think they're going to care.
Oh
for that.
yeah,
they don't care. They're mad about any of it.
No, they're going to be upset about that one. I saw a guy try to burn a Quran in the street, and the dude, he happened to have one of those curvy Persian knives.
A little scimitar.
It had like a short
Indiana
one.
Jones?
Is that a cravat? Cravat? What is it called?
And so he like came after the guy swinging it wildly in the streets. I think it was in the UK, but I'm not sure.
He made it seem like it was almost
Muslim country.
Size.
The front blade one is a karambit.
Maybe that's what I'm looking for.
I don't think they used those, but I have no idea. Damn. So have you gotten any pushback from your art escapades, or nobody gives a fuck?
No, because they know I'm just joking, kidding around. You know,
they do. Yeah, that's when
I do that thing where I pretend to be an imam and talk about Pokemon for $50 too. They get it.
Pretend to be an imam. What would an imam have to say about Pokemon?
Well, I always start talking about like normal stuff, but then I'll just talk about whatever Pokemon news is in the day, or the news, or the guys like if it's haram or not for those guys to camp out at the vending machine. And usually my favorite Pokemon, stuff like that.
Okay.
like Charmander, Squirtle, Charmander, Bulbasaur. Halal, good Pokemon for halal. Then Pikachu come. A bit forced, a bit haram, but understand because it's from cartoon. Then now Pokemon, total haram. They have a little leaf. Pokemon, fireman look like a monkey. These are not for halal, these Pokemon. Stuff like that. Stupid.
It sounds like he's got his head on straight, because he's all about the original 3. He sees Pikachu as shoehorned in, and then he also decries that monkey with the fire tail, who's worse than Charmander in every way.
Yeah, it sucks. It's ripoff of Charmander. It's Pokemon like a woman. 3, 4 wife. This is good. 5, 6, 7 wife. What are you, Mormon? This is bad. Bad stuff.
So wait, Pikachu's not the original? He's not like the core of the Pokemon universe?
No, they threw him in after the cartoon. Do you want me to do it in that voice? They threw Pikachu in after cartoon. Cartoons are successful. They bring in more to Allah, just like we bring into Allah with teachings of Quran. They bring to buy video game with Pikachu.
Nintendo Corporation mislead us to believe Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, most important, type 3. We all play this game with this understanding. They released the show and it is a lie. Pikachu, a Pokemon that you can only find in those games in Vermilion Forest early on, by tooling around in the grass. Now he is the main character. What does it tell us? That often the world is not as it seems.
See, it's fun.